Thank you, devotees. We're reading the final shloka of the 5th chapter, 5.29. Bhoktāraṃ yajña-tapasāṃ sarva-loka-maheśvaraṃ suhṛdaṃ sarva-bhūtānāṃ jñātvā māṃ śāntim ṛcchati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerity, the supreme lord of all the planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. The conditioned soul within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in this material world. But they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this. Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, it is said the Supreme Lord is described as tam ishvaranam paramam maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be the lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in this world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. What is the sense of Krishna consciousness? Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. This is the explanation of the shloka, and in the next paragraph, Prabhupada is summarizing the 5th chapter. So, Prabhupada is saying, we don't understand some bare facts, which means I am in ajñānam. Right? The soul is in ajñānam. The soul is in ajñānam. Okay. So, when we are in ignorance, we make wrong decisions. We make wrong decisions in life. And we foolishly think about ourselves many things. I mentioned many times before, ignorance means, I think we talked about this yesterday as well, ignorance means to ignore reality. And we are ignoring the reality of who we are. Ignoring the reality of the material world, the nature of this world. Ignoring Krishna. So everyone in this world is thinking that I am the master of nature and I can exploit her. But while exploiting her, I am becoming more embarrassed by her complexities. Prabhupada mentioned this very beautifully. Who knows where Prabhupada mentions this? We're trying to exploit material nature, but we are becoming embarrassed by our complexities. Very nice point. Very nice point, Prabhupada mentions. This is the purport to the Hare Krishna mantra. Prabhupada mentions this. So, everyone in this world is thinking that they are the master of this world. So, we have to become conscious of the fact that I am being controlled. Which means, at least for some time, we must understand that we are not our minds, we are not the body. Because only if I understand I am not the body and I am not the mind for some time at least, I understand I am being controlled by my body and mind. The reason is I want to act like the Lord of this world. So anyone who's a little intelligent, if he's not a damn fool, he will realize that I am being controlled. Every moment I'm being controlled. I'm being kicked by the material nature. So this is, sometimes I always think, these people say meditation, 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 and they do this, they do that. They can't even come to the conclusion that they are being controlled. What a poor form of meditation that they must be doing. Is it not? Like, even if one can remain a little attentive, one can realize I'm being controlled, which means there must be a controller. I must surrender to that person. It is so easy to understand this. But these people who are running so many shows in the name of meditation, they have this class, pranayama class, kriya yoga, hatha yoga, ashtanga yoga, jnana yoga, so many things, but they don't even surrender to the Lord. You're practicing yoga without devotion to Krishna. Like, that itself means they are not in yoga. Even if one sits silently for some time, one understands I'm being controlled. This is such common sense, but people don't realize this, right? And verse is that this happens in the name of meditation, right? If one just sits silently, one will understand so many thoughts are coming. Immediately, one thought will push me to get up and then go again. So I'm being controlled. Manashashthani indriyani, prakriti sthani karshati. I'm being controlled by prakriti. And Krishna is saying, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate thasaracharam hetuna anena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Very simple. To come to the conclusion that I have to surrender to Krishna is so simple. Is so simple. By experience from Bhagavad Gita, it is so simple. Yet, people are practicing yoga, meditation, International Yoga Day. Huge numbers. There are so many. Almost every society, yoga society, is promoting contemplation and meditation without surrender to the Lord. How is it possible? It is not possible. Even the great Patanjali is mentioning the Yoga Sutras, Ishvara Pranidhanat. He himself mentions that you have to surrender to the Ishvara. Ishvara Adhyo Narayanakhyaha. He mentions, Adi Shankaracharya mentions, what is Ishvara? Narayanakhyaha. He mentions his commentary to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So this is a farce. Any yoga that is not making us conscious, because yoga means what? It must make me conscious of reality. That is what is yoga. Not to impose something on me, but to simply become conscious. Simply become conscious of what? Of reality. And what is the reality? Krishna is the reality. And this is the meaning of the absolute truth. Janma dasya yatonvayat tatasartheshu vijñasvarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye yena mukhyanti surayah tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra sargvam mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakvakam satyam param dhimahi. He is the absolute truth. Nirastakvakam. Nirastakvakam. There is no deceit in him. There is no sense. There is no semblance of any illusion in Krishna. So this is Krishna consciousness. So this is very important to understand. We must realize we are actually under the control. So Prabhupada is saying, if you don't understand these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in this world, either individually or collectively. So we must realize that who is the controller? Krishna is the controller. Whose voice am I speaking? This is Krishna's voice. Because Krishna consciousness means here and now. One can realize Krishna right now, not tomorrow, not 1 hour later, right now, here and now. So when one is raised to the platform of realizing Krishna is here and now, in the form of his holy name, in the form of his pastimes, in the form of his material energy, in the form of his intelligence, in the form of his everything, right? So when one comes to this platform of realizing right now, pratyaksha bhagavam dharmyam, then and there, right now, here and now, one can realize Krishna, not as a heavenly benefit. As I'm mentioning this over and over again, because one should not think this material world, this birth, I will not see Krishna, I will not experience Krishna consciousness. After birth, something miraculously will happen, and then I'll go back to Godhead. This will not happen. Whatever we are experiencing in this life, that experience will continue after death. If that experience is concluded by Krishna consciousness, then the next birth will continue, right? And to realize Krishna is very easy. Krishna is very kind. Krishna is very simple. Krishna is very attractive. To realize Krishna is very easy. All we have to chant is his holy name. And when we chant his holy name, we understand something about Krishna. Right? We understand the guna of Krishna. Like I already mentioned, ajnana is the root cause of our miseries. So what is the antithesis to ajnana? Knowledge about the knowledge. What knowledge about what? Knowledge about the absolute truth. Knowledge about Krishna. Who's Krishna? He's the controller. Bhokta, he's the enjoyer. Very nice point. This is a very nice point. Prabhupada is saying the greatest piece formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. What a line! What a line! He is the beneficiary in all human activities. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagdhakarmanam tamahu panditam sudaha. So there is no idea in that person, because Krishna was speaking in the negative for most of this time. He is saying we are not the enjoying nirashi rita chittatma tyakta sari sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kuruvan apnoti na kilvisham sparshan kritva bahirbahyam chaivantare prabhu. This is all speaking in the negative. Speaking in the negative means you are not the controller, you are not the enjoyer, you don't have any desire. No, Krishna is saying the positive part. What is the positive part? I am not the enjoyer. I am not the benefactor of this activity. I am not the benefactor of this cooking. I am not the benefactor of this book distribution. I am not the benefactor of this house. I am not the benefactor of this job. Which means what? When I get the job, when I lose the job. When I get the house, when I lose the house. When I get married, when I lose my loved ones. Or when I get a child, when I lose the child. When I, whatever, there is no vikaram. Why is there no vikaram? Of course, there can be vikaram for Krishna. Vikaram means there is no transformation, there is no excitement or aversion. Why? Because I'm not the beneficiary. Who's the beneficiary? Krishna is the beneficiary. I tried my best to serve the Lord. Krishna is the beneficiary. Krishna is qualities that he is the beneficiary, he is the bhokta. I am not the bhokta. This jnanam of Krishna has to be understood, that he is the bhokta. First, you must realize there is an asami, there is a person called Krishna. One must realize like that. How will you realize that a person like Krishna is the enjoyer? Because the mind will not accept it. Because whatever you have not experienced, you will not accept it. Even if you accept it so called, you will accept it in a very half-hearted way only. What is the symptom of someone who has accepted Krishna's nature as the enjoyer? He will always remember Krishna as the enjoyer. It's like you understand sun is very bright. Can you forget sun is bright at any point of the day? No, because sun is always there. You'll always remember sun is bright. Even though you might be doing other activities, there will be a constant understanding, yes, sun is there. It's very bright. That is in the background always. Is it not? Similarly, we will be able to remember Krishna throughout our day, that he is the benefactor always in all spheres of activities. Prabhupada uses this word always. In all spheres of activities. In the activities of personal or familial or wherever we are talking about. Krishna is the beneficiary. Krishna is the enjoyer. You see? So when we realize this truth that I cannot be the enjoyer, and if I think I am the enjoyer, it is illusory. It is merely a dream. If we think we are the enjoyer, then we come to a bodily conception. As soon as we think we are the enjoyer, we start thinking we are this body which we are not. And we are in sleep. Everyone is asleep. It's in a dream. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Jeev Jago, Gauru Chanda bole, wake up, wake up, wake up. So we should not sleep for longer. We can wake up to this reality. And what we should know? Simply know quality of Krishna. 3 qualities of Krishna you know. This is the Swarupam of Krishna. You must know Krishna's Swarupam. You don't need to know the Jiva Swarupam or material Swarupam, nothing. You simply know who is Krishna. That's it. If you know who is Krishna, you'll understand who is the Jiva, who is the material world. What is the material world automatically? So what is the Swarupam of Krishna? He is the Bhokta. He is the enjoyer. He is the enjoyer. I cannot enjoy. If you enjoy, what happens? Okay, come negatively. It is illusory. It is full of mixed with suffering. It is temporary. In this way, understand it in a negative way. But if you serve Krishna, our dear Lord, Krishna, who's very sweet, who's very attractive, who's very kind upon his devotees, who's the protector of those who have surrendered unto him, who have made him his life and soul, Krishna reveals himself. That person, that very sweet dear Lord, if one serves that very sweet dear Lord in the form of his holy name, then Krishna, through the positive process, reveals himself in his full glory, that he says, I am the enjoyer. Krishna will reveal his name, his form, his qualities, his pastimes, and the mind will accept, yes, you are the enjoyer. You are the enjoyer. You are the controller. You are the owner. You own everything. I am your humble part and parcel. Let me be of some service to you. Right? So we have to realize 3 things about Krishna. That's all. If we saw the first thing today, we will see the second and third tomorrow. But all we have to know to be happy is to know Krishna. But the heart will never accept that there is a person called Krishna. Because the mind isn't gunas, right? It cannot accept that there is someone called Krishna. It will not accept. Our karma will stop us from doing bhakti. Because if you do bhakti, you will know who Krishna is. And if you know Krishna is, then karma is all destroyed. So your karma will again stop you from doing bhakti. Because we have done previously so many sinful activities. That stops us from doing pure bhakti. We'll go to this yoga program, this thing, this thing, this time. A very simple thing, we can know Krishna, but the mind will not accept that. The mind will go to this entertainment, we will go there. The mind, the karma will chase because we are sinful. But how can we lose our sin? If we simply say, Krishna, I'm very sinful, accept me. And Krishna is very kind. We go to the spiritual master, we surrender to the spiritual master. Immediately the spiritual master throws away all the sinful reactions because of our obedience to him. And immediately we become qualified in Krishna's eyes to know him. Because Krishna says, this person has become a servant of my devotee. Because he has become a servant of my devotee, I have to reveal myself to him. I have no choice. And when Krishna reveals himself to you, I have to understand that he is the bhokta, he is the yajña-tapasāṃ, sarva-loka-maheśvaraṃ, suhṛdaṃ sarva-bhūtānāṃ. He'll become very peaceful. I'll stop here. Any questions or comments? Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.